Good afternoon. My name is George Dukas, architect. I'm registered in Texas and Arizona. To begin this introduction, I'd like to say I have many interests: music, art, poetry, of which I am involved. I play guitar and I write poetry and do art pieces such as this. So, what am I going to talk about? I think let's start off with a statement by Palladio that all great architecture has to be symmetrical. So what does that mean in our modern era when we look around and everything is asymmetrical? Do we like that? Do we not like it? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. So I guess the question is, how do we create a meaningful architecture that incorporates asymmetrical work while we still have that very basic human instinct that we want to appreciate symmetry, or we do appreciate it? So I think that in my quest for exploring the relationship or the harmony that might exist between these two opposites, asymmetry and symmetry, I've discovered that basically in nature we do have asymmetrical composition, we have symmetrical compositions, and in architecture I think we try to simplify things. So in this particular case we have a symmetrical implied symmetry of that form, and then we have asymmetry in that as well. I think one of the great secrets of architecture, which I'm going to reveal to you now, is the incorporation of symmetry and asymmetry in a meaningful way. First, we have a symmetrical composition, and then the first major subdivision is at the point of asymmetry, where the eye is drawn from center to about a third. This has been shown, I don't know if it's been by accident or intentionally, but we see it in some famous works such as Oscar Niemeyer's Presidential Palace in Brasilia, IMP's Dallas City Hall, Chandigarh in India done by Le Corbusier, and maybe the sloping roof on the Dulles Airport, which shifts the eye to about a third in Washington, D.C. So here we have symmetry, first major subdivision at asymmetry, and we have a composition that now harmonically combines the two. And I think in terms of design work, these things have been explored by Louis Sullivan and maybe even Frank Lloyd Wright. So just to give you a brief understanding of what this really is, the lower portion is a floor plan which rises to elevation at the top portion of this composition. The triangle at the back would be a monumental stained glass wall, and the sun would shine through that slot twice a year. This could be at the edge of a city, a monumental cathedral with a long procession leading from a river maybe to the cathedral itself. So it would be very impacting, and you see the triangulated form. It's very narrow in plan but very tall in elevation. So there you have it. Symmetry and non-symmetry incorporated in a meaningful way, and one of the great secrets of architecture is that the two can be harmonically composed in a relationship where the eye moves from the larger, more general perception of a composition to breaking it down into more and more minute steps. Here, the larger composition, symmetry. The next, second subdivision, asymmetry. We could go back to symmetry again and then break it down to asymmetry, where we have alternating forms and rhythms, just like in music, where you have a return to maybe a single note within a composition, a return to symmetry, and then a progression away, and then a return back. The same principles we use in rhyme, in poetry, and also in the kind of rhythms that we see in music. And these can be translated also into architecture, which is basically the same thing. Thank you and have a good day. Hope you enjoyed it.